Hey, what's up, Kalen here? Welcome to the Commerce Heroes show. And today it's just me. Sorry to disappoint you, but I was going to record just kind of a quick short video on a topic. And I figured that instead of just recording it, I would just do it live. So I'm doing it live. And first of all, I'm very excited about my Inshu shirt. This is the after 10 years of Magento, I Need a Beer t-shirt, and I was able to get one sent over. And I haven't been doing Magento for 10 years. It's been about coming up on 7. So this is an honorary. I want to pay homage to all the true 10-year people, veterans. But anyway, very excited about this. So I was thinking about, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. But I was thinking about developer productivity and kind of satisfaction, some of those different themes. And, it's interesting, like people I think there can be a lot of different communication issues around how productive, how satisfied your developers are and things like that. And I think I had a great chat with Kurt at Classy Llama recently, and he was talking about some of the things they're doing to really proactively measure team health, satisfaction, all that kind of stuff. I thought was interesting, and I think it's probably like a best practice to proactively measure satisfaction. It's like I was talking to somebody recently. It's like a trailing indicator, where a project maybe 6 months in is not going well, and you go, what's going on here? And you find out the person has been not really engaged, kind of checked out for the past 6 months, and maybe you didn't realize it. So some of the indicators that you might be looking at, like project success rate, is a lagging indicator of how strong the team is, how morale is doing, and those types of things. And so I think it's probably a good idea to kind of pull that, maybe monthly, maybe quarterly. I don't know. How satisfied are you? Are there things that you want to new challenges that you want different work responsibilities, that kind of a thing. I think that's probably a good idea. The other thing, I was thinking about this team that is just doing really well, have done a bunch of hires, and everybody's really happy and excited, and that's not always the case, that people are like in seventh heaven when they get a new job. I wish I could say it is always the case, but I'm just thinking of this one particular team, and one of the things that I notice is that they will just spontaneously say really positive things about the team, that they're happy about working together. And I think that's something to look for. Like if you're just, as an agency owner or whatever, as a team lead, you've got a lot of different things to think about and worry about, and things are moving along. You're trying to keep the trains moving on time. But I think if people aren't sort of spontaneously saying like, man, I'm so excited to be here. Not that they're going to say that every day of the week, but they're not saying, man, I'm so excited about this, or I really enjoy this aspect of the team or whatever. That may be an indicator, because I think when on the flip side, when people are having negative experiences with the team, they might not mention them. They might not mention them when unless you ask them. And I think that's where kind of over communicating, being really proactive about communicating with the team to understand where they're at, what they're looking for, the good, the bad, the ugly, I think is important, to keep an eye on things. In terms of productivity, if a developer's time is billable, that's helpful, because you can, looking at billable hours is a nice simple way to know that they're getting work done and financially profitable. If you've got people that are in more of a managerial role or some kind of a hybrid role where their time isn't purely billable, then things are going to be a little bit more fuzzy, and you'll have to figure that out. I think peer review can be interesting. I think that's maybe something we don't do enough of. I've read, I'm trying to think what it was. It was Google or one of these companies that do really heavily rely on peer review. And you can combine, I think I was actually talking with Kurt about this. You can combine peer review with boss review and then self review, and just hit it from all those different angles. I think is a good idea. So yeah, and it's just, going back to the communication bit, I'm thinking of a scenario where, I've had scenarios where I've talked to the developer who is leaving, and I've talked to the employer, and they've talked to each other, and they're saying, like, I'm hearing different things, and like, I don't think that maybe the employer fully understands the reasons why they're leaving. And sometimes I'm not, I got to ask permission to share. And so a lot of times there's a lot of things I have to hold my tongue. I'm not at liberty to say. But it's, it's just, it's tough. These things are sensitive to communicate about, your job, your work life, what you're happy with, what you're not happy with. And as developers, that's not always our strong point, to communicate those things. And so I think that as the boss, as the team lead, whatever it is, you have to kind of over communicate to make sure you really understand what's going on. So those are the thoughts I want to share. I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And again, thanks for watching.